Well, hello, beautiful souls. This is Grace on a Journey, and you are listening to Angelic Healing Express. This is a place for mature, open-minded audiences in all seasons in life to grow spiritually with fellow travelers. Welcome to the newcomers. And to those of you returning, my fellow travelers, welcome back. We are happy to have you. We love, we share, we learn, we grow, we laugh, we forgive, we improve, we self-care, and we let go and fly above the drama. I am divine, intuitive, expression, love, powerful, innovative, and safe. Balance is the fruit of the universe. May our minds work together to find mutual understanding. May I see you true and be seen in kind. May our words reveal more than they obscure. Most of all, may our minds, eyes, and tongues be guided by our hearts in the language far older than words. Thank you again for your presence, for returning, and for your time. I feel today's episode will be very healing. I'm in that energy, and I'm very excited about it because that is in line with what I'm called to do. And I've been spending a lot of time in prayer and meditation, and as I continue investing in myself spiritually, I continue to grow spiritually. And this is why I encourage you to work on yourselves as well. Although you may enjoy the company of like-minded people, but you have to be okay with alone time as well in order to consider yourself a balanced person. If you have an issue with alone time, that's something that you should look into. Chances are there's something that you are trying to avoid. There's something that you don't want to look at. There's something that you don't want to have clarity on. You know, it's always good to check in with yourself routinely. And as you begin to make that a habit, beginning with daily, it'll get easier and easier for you to do it throughout your day. You'll be able to pick up when there's a shift in your mood or when an energy is off, in order for you to separate yourself from that energy. It may be because you find it draining, or it just doesn't serve any purpose and you feel disconnected to it. Growing spiritually leads you to a place of being very alert of self, those around you, your environment. With the gift of foresight and wisdom. Whatever you invest your time in, you will profit on. Whether it is in the direction of progress or regress, some form of regression. I encourage you to stay motivated, continue to believe in yourself, and know all it takes is one choice at a time. Now, after the choice, you need to follow through with a step. It requires more than just thinking positive. You need to act on it. There are a lot of great thinkers that are listening right now. Dreamers that are listening right now. But until you put that in motion and manifest it into your reality in a high vibrational state, then you are lacking forward movement. I'm hearing it's still a choice. And that's very true. Today's title is Past Life Healing. Now, I know this topic is debatable. And this is why this platter is being made for all peoples, no matter your diet in particular. Whether you are referring to some form of reincarnation or you are referring to your earlier years and earlier cycle in life. Essentially, it's still your journey, however you look at it. So, how do we arrive at past life healing? What I have come across in literature and other opportunities of learning and experience is that offering yourself kindness and nurturing attracts healing. Now, that is important to share as a gentle reminder, because so many of us that are on a higher vibration are naturally givers. We like to help others. And in turn, we show kindness and love, grace. We share our love languages in forms of nurturing each other and being supportive. Sometimes overextending ourselves. But as we grow on this journey we call life, we're learning that in order for you to have ample supply to continue that momentum of passing it forward, we have to have enough in our cup in order to be able to share. And how we do this, again, is by being kind with ourselves and creating different outlets to nurture ourselves. Now, the key to that is preparation. Preparation by having the tools you need in order to nurture yourselves, and also by scheduling me time. In the process of the word I want to use, I can just say in the process of living our lives. Because we can go into that further by mentioning prioritizing. Now, as I've shared with you many times before, when you take care of your spiritual being, as we are spiritual beings having a human experience, everything else falls in line. So when you put God first, and putting God first does not mean self-neglect, okay? For those of you that are misunderstanding, putting God first is actually beneficial. But it is better learned from experience than what I have to share with you. Some of us learn differently. So it doesn't matter if we hear it until we're blue in the face. We're still going to want to explore and experience life in a manner where we know that to be true, because we've been there and we've done that. So my effort here is to share the messages that are being relayed to us all, and also to encourage you by sharing my personal experience and testifying if God could do it for me, He can most certainly do it for you. One of the reasons why I enjoy what I do is because I want better. Not just for myself, but for my community. I like to see development. I like to know that I was part of that. And I want to be there to believe in you when you aren't even ready to believe in yourself. Can I share I've been there? And that's okay, because that's part of my truth, which led to my journey of enlightenment. One of the reasons why there is a sense of connectedness in some respect when it comes to the world at large is because through the avenue of the internet, many brave souls have shared their stories, their healing journeys. Some of what you've heard and what I've heard, you wouldn't even hear in a church assembly. I've heard many people make such commentaries where people don't testify like they used to testify due to gossip and persecution and so forth. But if you won't do it, God will find those that will. Whether they are sitting next to you on the pew or not. And I'm thankful for being part of the collective that is willing to share the different seasons of my life that brought me my new beginning. I stand on a firm foundation. Going within has allowed me to not only recall all that God has done for me, but also I am able to connect the dots. Oh, this happened to prepare me for this. And this happened because I needed this. And this happened to trigger my memory to remember that God can. And He'll do it again and again and again. You see, nothing happens by accident. And what I'm hearing right now is a lack of gratitude will cause you to repeat a cycle. And that touches me deeply because there is a lesson I'm taking a deep breath. That I had to experience in a very severe manner when, if I learned it the first time, when it wasn't presented with such evil, I'm hearing evil intention. If I kept a spirit of gratitude, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it's not that you're not thankful for what God has done for you and from where He took you from, but sometimes things are going so right. And you begin to neglect balance, the need to be balanced. Most people can relate to that. Everyone likes having a good time. Everyone likes to be in a positive season in their life. Everyone likes to experience their dreams becoming a reality. So to speak. What they perceive to be. beneficial at that time. But the truth is, God always knows what's best. And that's why I always like to say that balance is the fruit of the universe. God wants things balanced in every sense of the word. And until we balance our lives, our environments, our obligations, our responsibilities, our debts, it will put us in the energy of being off kilter, because when you're not balanced in one area, it affects the other areas. More pressure is being put on the other areas. They start being affected by not maintaining your wellness by way of balance. So let's say you neglect your heart chakra, right? But you say, you know, I'm doing meditation for my third eye, and I continuously stay in prayer and am receiving guidance, so I know confirmation. See, that's my testimony. Confirmation again. As I continue to build with God and talk to God and trust in God, my crown chakra benefits. Those of you who are not aware or who have never heard someone share that prayer can help you balance your chakras. Not just your crown, all your chakras. Just know it's very effective for me. Right? Now there's a lot on the market about different therapies you can use and options that we have, and I've shared some of them with you. I encourage you to use variety, explore, make it fun, but don't neglect prayer. So when you tend to certain chakra systems and you neglect others, for example, I'm not ready to forgive right now because I know so-and-so was wrong. And I don't even think that's humanly possible. Now, when you take that stance, again, this affects your other chakras because there's one chakra system that's being neglected. And so balance is being able to be open to seeing things from a different perspective. And once you allow yourself to be honest with yourself, it's easier said than done. Can I tell you the truth? It's easier said than done. But you can always confirmation. You can always be gentle with yourself. You are constantly experiencing the pressures of life. So you don't have to add on that pile. Be kind to yourself. Redirect yourself. Like when you are experiencing automatic negative self-talk, redirect yourself. For example, if you were to say, I can't do anything, and it came automatic because you're used to talking to yourself in such a tone, you can correct it by saying, I can. Even if you don't have anything else to add to it yet. I can. If I say I can, if I believe I can, I can. You know, this reminds me of a movie I saw earlier today. It's one of those movies that you know will stay with you forever. Because not only you enjoy the performance, but it touched your soul. It left a lasting impression. And without getting too detailed about it, just to stay on course, there was a young child who was mistreated because he was an albino. And in that culture, some people believe that I don't even want to say it, but it is what it is. In that culture, and I do not share that opinion, as if there's something off with them spiritually. Let's put it that way. Because they have that complexion and lack of melanin. So, during the movie, he was teased and outcast, and the children didn't want to play with him, and he suffered a lot. You know, he didn't get to go play outside and make friends different prejudices were going on in life, and in that season in his life, he encountered an individual that shared a similar journey, but he was an adult. But many decided to outcast him as well. For whatever reason, he was being called madman. Now, I don't know how that came about, because he wasn't displaying anything that would make one determine that he fit in that category. But one person believed it and another person believed it, and they shared it, and it just went on and on and on. And so it stuck with him. And as I'm sharing this with you, I'm understanding why watching that movie touched me on a soul level. Both of them could understand that people had misconceptions about them, which formed opinions. They shared the experience of being lied on and hated on and mistreated. And they learned that distance can be a strength. You see, some people feel that it's a weakness to be alone. But when you have encountered certain seasons in your life, you understand different things. See, when you keep your distance, you have more control in areas of being able to maintain your balance, right? Less triggers, less interference, less shade, less lies, less jealousy, etc. Life has a way of conditioning you. And so, like the movie, due to my journeys in life, I've learned that can be okay. No matter what. In company or without company. Been there, done that. And honestly, in those seasons when I found myself very independent, I also catered to myself in ways that would not be possible without being in the company of another who also appreciates alone time and togetherness. Now, I don't know what everyone's experience is. I can share for myself. Majority of the experiences that I've had when it comes to relationships, I always felt I had to compromise in some way or another. And the reason for that is I can get misunderstood. I only want connection when I have undivided attention. If I don't have your undivided attention, and you say, I'm here, I'm listening to you, but I see you on the phone, I see you looking outside, I see you doing a crossword puzzle, I'll be the one to say, let's do this another time. No need to argue, but I believe that there is a perfect time for almost everything. If I see that you're already stressed out, for example, it's not the right time for me to say, I told you to take the garbage out. Anytime I tell you to take the garbage out, you never do it. It's not the right time for that. I need to wait for you to be calm, for you to be able to hear what I'm saying. Not just listen, but hear that I need your help. Confirmation. So, As I was saying, I can be misunderstood. In the sense when I am not satisfied with our quote unquote quality time, I give you time. I don't believe in pressuring people. I don't believe in babying adults. I feel as if you do what you do because you're grown and you could do what you want to do. In adulthood, we know better. When we care about something, we know how to give our attention to it. We know how to cherish it. We know how to treasure it. I remember one of my favorite singers mentioned that in a song where some people treat their vehicles better than they treat their partners. Don't sit on it. Don't bring any garbage into this car. I just cleaned it. Make sure you keep the gas tank full. But they will neglect their partner. They will even neglect diapers that are needed for their children, daycare, bills, and so forth. You know, whether we want to lie to ourselves or not, we do know. Doesn't matter what scars you had yesterday. You know what you like and you like what you like. And that's the truth. So I've taught myself to be very flexible and adaptable. It wasn't because one day I woke up and I said, I am going to be flexible from now on. I am going to be adaptable from now on. Again, I was conditioned that when you have time, you have time. When you don't have time, I have time. For me. Right? I have time to read, watch movies, reconnect with family and friends, volunteer, eat what I want to eat, buy what I want to buy, listen to what I wanted. There are pluses and minuses in every situation. And so when you are able to adapt like me, someone that is not on that same wavelength may think that person doesn't care because they are used to those that cross their boundaries of, I need some time to myself, or I just don't feel like talking right now. Like, there are days you just don't feel like talking, right? You know? And it has nothing to do with that. You just don't feel like talking. You could be down on yourself, right? Now, when you have a good relationship, you mention, you know what? I don't have too many words to share today. I'm not feeling my best and I don't want to talk about it. But it has nothing to do with you, right? You want to bring that clarity before, that takes itself in another direction. But I'm going to need, for you to be a little more understanding with me today, because, again, it's not you. I just need a regroup. And I heard a confirmation not too long ago. You see, there's balance, there's ups, there's downs, right? There's periods of recalibration and so forth. And so we need to flow with the cycles, right? That brings us to a place where we are stronger than we've ever been when you're able to go with the flow. Those of you that are on that same wavelength and surround yourselves with such individuals, understand how everything just goes into place. You don't feel a clash. You don't feel like someone's pulling on your energy. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you. Yes, I know you had a hard day. Sometimes they don't even acknowledge what you said or what you didn't say. Because when you are in a relationship of any sort, even before I say I had a bad day, you can read me without me sharing that with you verbally. Vice versa. So it's important to not only listen to each other, but hear each other and prepare for every season in life. Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. Treat others the way you want to be treated. I've heard so many celebrities say, you know someone's truest character when you see how they treat someone they don't believe they need. Listen and hear what I'm saying. You know what someone's truest character is when you see them treat how they treat an individual that they don't believe they need. If you see them treat that individual that they don't believe they need with respect, kindness, love, truth, etc., that's a check. If you see them belittle that person or humiliate that person, ignore that person, reject that person, you can form an educated guess about their character. I don't just listen. I hear what people say. Because that increases wisdom. Now, someone that is on my wavelength and understands there is time for connection, there is time for quiet time, time to go within. There's time to play video games. There's time to cook something that you want for yourself. There's time to pamper yourself. There's time to take yourself out on a date. There's time for all of it. And they don't give you guilt trips like, I guess you don't have time for me today. I guess you need some space. Because I guess you need to grow up. And that's why it's important to understand who you are building with. Will they interfere with your wellness? Because quiet time, alone time, is part of balance. And if everything you do has to be catering to their demands and their needs and their desires, you'll find yourself in a situation that's very draining, confirmation, very draining, and eventually you'll begin resenting the fact that you are overextending yourself and not feeling any sense of reciprocation. Yes, a human being will resent that. That every time I have, you need. And when I need, I just have me. And every time I need you to hear me, I'm neglected. Or I'm ridiculed. Or you throw shade. But when you are vulnerable with me, I don't only listen, I hear. And I share words of comfort, words of encouragement, words of empowerment. Where you begin to resent the lack of balance. You see, when you spend time going within, reviewing life's lessons, cycles you've had to repeat over again, you're able to connect the dots. Okay, I learned this and this there, but I didn't learn this. And that's why I had to redo this. And that's why, you see. But my experience is when you repeat a cycle, it's crucial. Like, it was so much easier the first time around. It's never the exact same thing. It always gets to be a harder pill to swallow. It's more traumatic. It's more drama. It's, you would like to avoid that if you can. And I'm learning to learn and step up. Because it's about the choices that we make. All it takes is the next right step. You choose. You take the step. you repeat. Being prepared also means knowing your resources, being part of a community of like-minded people, or the needs that you are being highlighted in your life at the present moment. There are certain things that you're working on in your life that you won't be working on next year. And there's certain things that you're working on in life that you'll be working on 5 years from now. That's life. But having your resources and your communities is being able to be honest with yourself, recognizing your needs, making a choice to improve, and applying self-care, right? Self-care in the respect of detaching from people, places, things, and energies that are not in alignment with my highest good. For example, there are programs available in the communities for those that are in connection to alcoholics, those that are in connection to drug addicts, those that are in connection to mentally ill individuals, those that are connected to special needs individuals. You see, when you balance your life, you prioritize what needs to be prioritized. And you are able to design a treatment plan, so to speak, for yourself. You begin by setting the goals that you want to achieve, one at a time. Overwhelming yourself is setting yourself up for failure. One goal at a time. For example, I want to make sure that I'm eating 3 healthy meals a day. as you design a quote-unquote treatment plan, you would include when you would be going to the groceries, what you always need to purchase when you go to the groceries. Ways to prep your meals. When will you be scheduling a time to prep your meals so you don't have to wait until you're hungry to need food right now? You'll have it ready for you. I've also heard, don't ever go to the supermarket hungry, because you'll buy things you don't need, or you'll buy things that are not healthy for you. Again, balance is the necessary course. So, when you set a goal, you're able to decide on the steps that are necessary for you to achieve that goal. And then you're also able to include subcategories. All right? That may require some type of brainstorming that you have the capacity of doing. And those of you that are saying, I can't. I can. I can. I can. That's your point of correction as you turn your negative thought to a positive thought. And although that was not the quote that was mentioned in the movie, the older character taught the younger character how to meditate, how to say affirmations, how to regroup, how to heal with music. You see, you don't have to be from the same walk of life to understand you could be from different walks of life, but confirmation can identify confirmation, can identify with life lessons. And this is why people should have the right to be in their truth. People should not conform. People should be authentic. Because when you do not take those steps, it interferes with your growth process and leads you to repeat lessons that are much harder this time around. As much as you love, and as much as you enjoy, don't forget yourself in the process. You can be very much in love and love yourself as well. That joy that some people misunderstand is because you don't understand the source of the joy. Some people relate joy to being connected to possession, what you have, or what you are able to obtain due to connection, due to financial standing, due to whatever. The joy only remains when it's from the Lord. And so this is why no matter what season I find myself in, I'm able to maintain my wellness because I remember when. And I know if God can do it then, He could do it again, again, and again. That is where my confidence is rooted. That is why my joy is everlasting. The secret is my source, whom I call God, who taught me how to be kind to myself, who taught me how to nurture myself. And all these efforts that were made led me to inner strength. Have you ever heard people don't appreciate things that they don't work hard for? or that they don't invest in. What are your thoughts on that? Although there are exceptions to every rule, because I could think of sometimes when I've invested and I was willing to let go regardless. That happens too. It's all relative to the circumstances. Confirmation. You see, that movie comes to mind again because of the experiences that they were both enduring in their own worlds, so to speak. It was actually very sad when it came to the little boy, because they shared more about his childhood, obviously, than they shared about the gentleman that was accused of being mad. But the younger boy, when he was born, again, due to the culture he was born in, when his father first saw him after his mom gave birth, he was rejected. Again, it had to do with the fact that he was an albino and some spiritual matters that is associated to their belief system. And so this is why many who have that condition experience some forms of discrimination because of their cultural beliefs and spiritual beliefs, and the fact that people fear what they don't understand. And they want to destroy what they fear. So, upon arriving to Earth, the day he was born, he was rejected. And although his parents were married, the father kicked the mother out and the baby out. and they were left to fend for themselves. But due to God's grace, God put earth angels on their path that were able to assist them so that they could maintain relatively a decent life in regards to shelter and food and love. He was loved in his family. He was loved by his mom, and he was loved by his stepdad. But again, his biological father was irresponsible. After he goes to school, and continued his hobby in regards to playing the guitar and singing, he was able to find success in his passion. This is something he loved to do since he was a kid. He loved to play instruments. He got famous, and that is when his biological father showed up. Not when he needed him, but when his father needed him. And although he was not interested in making up for lost times, you weren't there because you didn't want to be there. And that's the truth of the matter. He was able to say, I forgive you. And the movie ended by I guess that was confirmation. The movie ended by him singing a song called I Am Free. And I think that was a message that when you release, when you let go, when you fly above the drama, you are free. And although I have a long list in regards to my soul's purpose, being free is prioritized in my contract. So although I set boundaries and I move in ways that benefit my wellness in all facets, I am still liberated. And I will continue to open the eyes of those that haven't found freedom. It feels good. And so for now, I'd like to read I Am a Soul. I am not this face, these features. I am not made up of matter. This body is not me, but my instrument. I am a spiritual being. I have the form of life. This form thinks, feels, and decides. I concentrate on this one thought. I am peaceful. I am loving. I am a happy being. I experience deep, powerful peace. I am in total peace. I pray that you are in total peace. I'm going to share briefly some of the spread that I have before me. Some of you had a veil between lives because you didn't understand that there were lessons that you needed to learn and tests that you needed to pass. And due to not deciding, you decided. See, that's something that a lot of people get wrong. They say, well, if I don't decide, then I didn't say yes and I didn't say no. When the truth is, if you didn't say yes, that means no. Right? And that leaves you in limbo between lives. Angels can help those that not only choose to live a balanced life, but take the steps to be balanced, right? It's okay to give yourself some flowers when you are making strides to improve yourself, to develop yourself, to heal yourself, right? Walk away from people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Recognize your worth. And the favor of God in your life. Those building with God are in a very stable energy. You're fragile in the sense where energy is contagious. And so this is why you have to maintain your boundaries when it comes to detaching from what is no longer in alignment with your highest good. But those that are not balanced are all around fragile because they don't have the protection you have and they don't have the transportation that you have, right? When you have protection and transportation, you can more or less care for yourself to a greater extent. Those of you that are experiencing addictive energies, this is just a reminder that there are communities out there that can help you rehabilitate. The first step is leaving denial. The second step is committing yourself to change for the better. The third one is keep on going, no matter what. Now, if your social circles are interfering with your healing, what are your thoughts? What should you do if you want a new beginning and a fresh start? Recognize the snakes in your life for what they are. Recognize the scars that they left behind. Move forward. And those that cannot respect your boundaries, don't look back. They are sent in your path to distract. Now, once you detach, they will begin to behave codependent, wanting to control you, or acting as if I can't do anything without you. I need you to be whole. Just for an opportunity for them to bind you to them once again. They need your energy. They want to eat everything that is in the essence of you. Especially gifts that you have that may benefit them in their vices. For example, the gift of a prophetic word. They like innocence, not because they are innocent, but because they think that's easy prey. They want to harvest what you've worked on and tie you up and take your place. They want to share your story while claiming your inspiration. Meaning, you can inspire others by sharing whoever's experience as you acknowledge them respectfully. But when you misinform audiences and claim that story to be yours or that reality to be yours, that is not in the spirit of truth and not in aligned with the divine. The next card, truth and fairness. Confirmation. You see, the truth is, some of you were experiencing discrimination because people were focusing on your differences that appeared to be in black and white, while freeloading off of you to bring back to their communities and profit off of it too. That's the skeleton that was in the closet. The sorcerers and the sorceresses have been exposed. Continue to shield yourself. Quiet does not mean it's over. Spiritual warfare continues. In different cycles, they're different people. But as you learn your lessons, you are able to maneuver in ways where traces of low vibration will not leave an imprint. When it comes to your walk in life, continue to nurture your inner child. There are adjacent possibilities when it comes to healing your past life. Those that have left you for dead are in a season of experiencing balance. Their reflections are being mirrored back to them, and so they are in bad health. and they recognize it as self-sabotage. Whether or not they appreciate your title, quote unquote, confirmation, it can't be denied. Continue to cleanse your energy and banish and block what is not in alignment with your spiritual wellness, and all will follow. Continue to submerge yourself in love. There are those that have attacked you in various ways. Confirmation. That still have the audacity to judge you for choosing with wisdom and obeying the voice of God. Disregard their opinions. Continue to affirm yourself with positive thoughts, because they will lead to positive results. They are trying to pry into your life but they're being blocked. They're only allowed vision of what God filters through. Your connection to God is undeniable. Your strength is inspirational. Your skills continue to build. You're a fast learner. You're independent. You're protected. And only you have the key to what's inside and how to bring healing to it. My prayer is that we'll organize our time in a manner where we will use our resources to free ourselves. When you don't decide, it means no. So that means if you were not able to comply with certain demands, that has developed into a loss of a job, confirmation, dismissal, dispose. Whatever season you're in, be gentle with yourself. Write about your feelings. You may want to write about why it's so hard to make a decision or a particular decision. Due to lack of forward movement, some have forfeited an opportunity for a new beginning. Forfeited an opportunity for healing, for inspiration, for recalibration, and for abundance. You're being redirected to cleanse yourself. Research different ways you can cleanse yourself spiritually. Talk to your spirit teams. They will lead you to your path. Be careful of what doors you open, because some doors of indulgence you can't close back again. Maintain your faith and trust in God and continue to go forward fearlessly. Know that you know that you know that I am a friend of God's. You have a light that shines inside of you that is meant to light up your part of the world. Those that wanted to enslave you by way of divination or spiritual attack or financial restriction or whatever the case, they are experiencing the energy of what they sent out and the reflection of themselves. And I'm hearing inner and outer self. When you are chained outwardly, you are also chained inwardly. In other words, it begins with self-sabotage. Okay? That means you need to invite more order into your life, because that will be developed into peace. All right? Don't look back. And as you nurture yourselves, don't forget the children. Spiritually, nutritionally, mentally, physically. Do you give them a hug every day? Do you say, I love you? Do you give them your undivided attention for a certain amount of time that you've designated for them? Is there a give and take? Do you share a bond that you would consider to be healthy? Do you share your life experiences and lessons you've learned so cycles do not have to be, unhealthy cycles do not have to be repeated? Do you parent with love? Teach yourself and your children how to stay clear of temptation. Teach them how to recognize their challenges as they affirm themselves. All right, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm good at this. I can improve this way, I can improve that way, I can improve this way. It doesn't have to be the opposite. I am bad at this. Because it doesn't have to be a weakness. It could be a challenge that leads to strength. Beware of ritualistic abuse, from leaders, from assemblies, from family. Beware of abuse in totality, and take the measures necessary to be your own advocate and your children's advocate. Decide right now that you're going to be there for yourself from now on. God offers security and stability. And in order to manifest your garden, you have to plant the seeds. Are you planting the right seeds for the type of garden that you desire? transform in essence. There are those that don't want you to transform. And that is why some will make comments like, you've changed, you're different, as if that something is wrong with you. But growth is change, all right? Change is a gift. Change allows you to fly high. They're concerned because they recognize your change as beneficial, as strength, as forward movement. They feel the trauma that they caused you to experience did not leave the lasting effect that they strived for. Pay attention to your dreams. There are many messages that are being released. Write them down. Now, some of you are saying, I don't write them down because I never can remember. Write what you do remember. Even if it is one thing that was said, or how someone dressed, or an activity that was done, and you are even aware that you forgot majority of it. The little pieces that you remember are the pieces that you need. And they'll come back to you. At the given time that you can make use of them. All right? That communication continues. Those communications and downloads continues to bring towers in the lives of your enemies. They are in the energy of hostility. They see your growth leading to success. There's devastation. They remember when they thought they were blocking you, and are devastated because of your decision to be balanced, of your decision to continuously check your temperature and cater to yourself by being kind to yourself, by nurturing yourself, by setting boundaries for yourself, which interferes with their mission of abuse. They wanted you to be a victim, and now they see a reflection of themselves. They see some of you as emancipated slaves. No comment. Again, journaling is encouraged. All right? The more you journal, the more you heal. Meditate, meditate, meditate. You're moving forward. You're in luck because God loves you. Thank you for the opportunity to connect with you. I appreciate you all. I am peace when my heart and mind are on God. I quietly tune into the wisdom of God and receive divine direction. I am grateful for the energy and strength of my healthy body. God's unlimited good news. Wow, good news is coming. God's unlimited good flows to me and through me. As we express the peace of God, our world is transformed. Love and light. And remember, live by grace.